Hi everyone, it's Ian here from Crack Maths, and today we're looking at tutorial 16 in part of our Everything You Need to Know for Functional Skills course. And we are looking at how to switch between improper fractions and mixed numbers. So first of all, just to clarify what these two terms mean, improper fractions is any fraction where the top number is bigger than the bottom number. For example, we could have 10 over 3, 9 over 4, or 7 over 3. All of these are deemed as improper because the top number is larger than the bottom number. Secondly, a mixed number. So a mixed number, this is something like 3 and a third, 2 and 3/4, or 2 and a third. And what this does, the mixed number tells you how many whole parts there are to the number and what the fractional part is. So for example, if you ate 2.5 biscuits, that would mean that you ate 2 biscuits and you ate half a biscuit. If you ran 3.5 meters, it's not very far, but you would run 3 meters and then half a meter. So this is it's just another way of breaking down the numbers into wholes and parts. Very similar to how you would have a number like 3.6, where you've got the 3, which is the complete part, and the 0.6, which is the remainder. Well, not the remainder, just the extra bit that hasn't yet made up a whole number. So in order to learn this, I first of all want us to focus on moving from mixed numbers to improper fractions, okay? Because that's a little bit more straightforward. So let's take a mixed number. Let's say I'm going to take 2.5 actually. So if I think about my 2.5 biscuits, maybe I'm actually going to draw them here. So I've got 2.5 biscuits here. So, and what I can see is I've got 2 whole biscuits and I've got half a biscuit. Now, if I want to talk about these as an improper fraction, I've got to think about all of the biscuits in terms of halves. So I'm going to cut these first 2 biscuits in two. So I can see that this biscuit here, this first biscuit, is 2 out of 2. So that's 2 halves, which makes a whole. So interesting fact, any number divided by itself makes a whole. So 2 divided by 2 would equal 1. So 2 over 2 is a whole, 2, but it also represents the 2 halves of the biscuit that we've eaten. Here we have the second biscuit. I've divided this in 2 as well. And so we've got both of the halves there. So we've got 2 over 2. And lastly, we've got our other biscuit, which we only ate half of to start off with. So we've got the 1 half there. So we can see we ate 2 halves for the first biscuit, another 2 halves for the second biscuit, and another half for the final biscuit. So that means altogether we've eaten 5 halves. So in order to write that as a mixed number, as an improper fraction, I'm going to put the 5 on the top and I'm going to put the 2 on the bottom because the 2 describes what it is that we're talking about. So the 5 says we're talking about 5 things, and the 2 at the bottom just says, yeah, you're talking about 5 halves. So 5 halves. So here we go. So we can now see from our picture here that 5 halves is equal to 2.5. Okay, so these are both the same number. So 2.5 is the mixed number. 5 over 2 is the improper fraction. Right, let's have a look at another one. So here we go. We've got a question which says convert 4 and 3/4 to an improper fraction. So again, let's think about this like biscuits. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 whole biscuits. And this time we ate 3/4 of a biscuit. Okay, so we've drawn that as 3/4 of a biscuit there. So now, because the end bit, the bottom number of the fraction is a 4, we've got to think about all of these biscuits in terms of how many quarters they are. So if we look at the whole biscuits, we've got 4 of them, and all of these biscuits are 4/4. So underneath each one, I'm going to write 4 out of 4. So 4 out of 4, 4 out of 4, 4 out of 4, 4 out of 4, and then we have the 3 out of 4. So I can put this like this, and then we're going to see what that's equal to. So we've got 4/4 for the first one, 8/4 when we add on the second one, 12/4 when we add on the third one, 16/4 when we add on the fourth biscuit, and then we've got 16/4, and then we've got to add on 3 more. So that's going to take us up to 19/4. So that means our final answer for this will be 19 over 4. So there we go. 4 3/4 is equal to 19/4 as an improper fraction. Right, let's try one more like this. So let's think about this one. We've got, oh, this one's quite straightforward. And this one is convert 1 2/3 into an improper fraction. So this time we've got one whole biscuit and then we've got 2/3 of a biscuit. Okay. I'll leave you a moment here just to see if you can think about what the answer is going to be. Okay. And now I'm going to draw my biscuits. And then I'm going to divide them into 3 this time. So my whole biscuit will be 3 out of 3. And my 2/3 of a biscuit will remain as 2/3. So let's count up the amount of thirds that we've eaten. We ate 3/3 and then we ate 2/3. So altogether, we've eaten 5/3. So that means 1 2/3 as an improper fraction is 5/3. Okay, great. Let's have a look at the other way round. So here I've got a question which says, convert the improper fraction 9/2 into a mixed number. So we look at the bottom part. So we're talking about halves. So I've got 9 halves. So I know that every 2 halves makes a whole. Okay, so I need to know how many wholes I've got and how many halves I've got left over. So let's think. So 2 is 1 whole, 4 is 2 wholes, 6 is 3 wholes, 8 is 4 wholes, and then I've got 1 left for 9. So I'm going to have 2/2, 2/2, 2/2, 2/2, 1/2. So that means I've got 4 wholes and 1 half. So if I was going to write 9/2 as a mixed number, I'm going to write 4 and 1 half. Okay, let's look at this next question. So here we have convert the improper fraction 29/4 into a mixed number. This is 29/4. So remember, we look at the bottom number and we look at what we're talking about. So if we're talking about over 4, that means we're talking about quarters. So we want to see, well, we're going to collect our quarters together into wholes. So we know that 4/4 makes a whole. So how many groups of 4 are there in 29? So we've got 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. So we have 7 full groups of 4 that fit into this. So there's going to be 7 wholes. I can write them all down here. So we've got 1 4/4, a second 4/4, a third 4/4, a fourth 4/4, a fifth 4/4, a sixth 4/4, a seventh 4/4, and then all of that makes 28, and then we've got 1/4 left. So we can see that 29/4 as a mixed number is going to be 7 and 1/4. Okay, great. Before we go, I just want to go and have a go at one scenario question, and then I'll leave you to your practice. But if you need to watch this again, please pause it, go through it, think about it. This stuff takes time to understand, so often it is useful to rewatch things and just have a think. But let's have a look at a scenario question. Okay, so for this question, it reads, Samine baked 3.5 cookies. How many cookies did she bake in total? Express your answer as an improper fraction. Now, I apologise for this question because it doesn't sound real. But the essence of it is, she baked 3.5 cookies, and they want 3.5 written as an improper fraction. So, the way that we're going to do this is, we're going to see we've got 3 whole cookies. So there we go. And we've got half a cookie. How many halves is that? Okay, so each whole cookie is 2 halves. So we have 2, 4, 6 halves, and we've got the extra half. So altogether, that's 7 halves. So the answer to this question will be 7/2. Okay, great. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope that was helpful. And remember, visit crackmaths.co.uk for more practice, more examples. And yeah, I will see you in a future tutorial. Catch you soon. Bye.